going on, everybody? All right, made another video. I'll be trying to make a few videos. Take a minute to get in the habit of actually making videos and posting. I'm used to just doing shit, but I made a video. I'm making another video. The last video I showed y'all was about my custom stereo installation, which went great. I'm content with what was done, how it was hooked up, and the whole nine. So now, of course, I want to put my own customization on it, meaning that I want to add a different amp, which I'm gonna show you guys. Kind of cut a board to mount that amp to, because before, of course, they didn't mount it to no amp. They just dropped the shit down in there. You know that my face ain't the crispiest. And mount a few different things in there. Do a nice little neat customized stereo setup. Thought I'd show you guys, because I know me personally, I was looking for how people was able to put custom stereo systems in a 6th generation Camaro convertible and have it sounding good. Like, when I went to the sound shop, they say, well, how do you want it to sound? You want it to sound good inside the car, or you want it to sound good for everybody else? I say, man, I'm big on bass, so I want it to sound good for everybody else. I let the top down. I want to be able to feel the bass. I want to be able to hear the bass. I want, a little bit of rattle. I don't want nothing crazy. Because I saw one car on YouTube, the guy had the top down, had the convertible, and everything was flexing on his car. The convertible top, the convertible flat pieces, the trunk, the fenders, the headlight, like it was a bomb about to blow up out of his trunk. I said, hey, that guy had to spend some money to get something custom like that to sound that good and still be able to have a convertible. It's hard to do. It's such limited space. Very hard to do in a convertible Camaro. I really would assume any convertible where the top flips all the way down inside the trunk. The top alone is taking up half of your trunk space right there. So it's very limited what you really can do with these vehicles. But I had to have something because I'm in my stereo system. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm doing today, with a little bit of narrating on my 2018 Camaro. Hope you enjoy. Maybe I need to turn it this way. Nope, that ain't right. Like that. All right, so this is the inside of my trunk. Of course, the amp doesn't mount there. I just set it like that. I started working on it last night, ran out of daylight, but I didn't want my amp to, I wanted all the wires just to be free. I did go ahead and hook up the new amp, because the other amp I had used was out of my truck, because the amp I took up to the sound shop, they say didn't work. I hooked it up myself and it didn't work. I got to send it back to the manufacturer, get it fixed, and I guess I'll go ahead and sell it, because I'll probably keep this amp in here. And this is the Hyphonics Zeus Elite. I didn't realize the Hyphonics series, all of the Elite amps are probably the better amps to go with. If I'd have known that, I would have put Elite amps in my truck, but I just used the regular amps, which it still sounds good. I wasn't looking for nothing too crazy in my truck. It is a truck, so I have tons of airspace, so of course almost anything you put in the truck is going to sound good. And I got one big 15 in there, so it sounds great. It contents. I'm content with it. So I'm gonna try this Brutus Elite, this Hyphonics Elite. The other amp I had was a Brutus Elite 35th anniversary series, which is way more power than I even needed. Always, good rule of thumb, my homeboy told me to always kind of go by the fuse sizes. As you can see here, I got 260s, maxi fuses. So if you taking those big fuse amps, it's kind of always a good thing. I'm gonna redo the zip ties a little too tight, so I figure out how I'm gonna have it go. But this is the bottom piece of my box. Y'all saw the other pieces. This is the actual bottom piece to the box with the 2 ports for inward and outward air flow, as y'all can understand that. They really probably both go in one way, the hit, but always figures for going in and flowing out so it has circulation and the bass can travel down in there instead of having one big port opening in here. So I kind of do like the way he did that. There is no wall though on the inside of it, just big open space. So just to help that bass resonate further into the vehicle, which it does. It sounded good the way it was. So I know me adding to it is only gonna help the sound, because my issue was after I increased it, the volume up, you know, the factory has it to where it kicks out the bass. So I'm not getting the same bass signal or bass volume when I turn the vehicle up as I do with it at lower volume from the radio head unit. So I hope you guys can understand that. I'm pretty sure you do. And so what I wanted to add was something that I can continue to get that bass, and it continues to increase as I increase the volume. Because, you know, having it on low volume, I can't hear, you know, the words, the treble really good. The bass hits, but I couldn't hear the treble really good. So I have to increase the volume to get the treble good, and then it start cutting out the deep bass tone that I was getting. So that was the issue that I was having. It was sounding good still, but it didn't sound as good as it did at the lower volume. So I want to have that deep, good quality, clear bass, even at high volume from the head unit. Which I know I will have to add a 4-channel. The best thing to do is to add a 4-channel amp and new inside speakers, which I'm sure I'm going to do in due time. But right now, I want to go with it like this, the way it is. Just up until, really up until my factory warranty is up, or my bumper-to-bumper warranty is up, shall I say. Because right now, if any of the speakers or anything blow, they will have to replace it, you know. But I may have it like this just until next summer, or just for a few months, because I would like it to sound really good when the summertime comes again and I can let the top down. So before next summer, I'm sure I'm gonna add the 4-channel amp and the inside. But right now, I want it to sound good now as I increase the bass, because I love the bass notes that it hits. He did a really good job with the box. So here's a few things I have. Here's the car if you haven't seen it. I got the metallic gray convertible 2018 Camaro SS. Another thing I did do is take that SS badge off the vehicle. I didn't like it just saying SS right there, like off to the left side. If somebody see you on the right side, they can't even see it, you know. I'm so used to it being in the middle of the vehicle or on the lower right side close to the middle, but like I say, nobody can see it. So I was like, you know, I didn't want to, I took that badge off. I didn't like it right there. This ain't nothing but a stick badge, so I just peeled it right off. I got a black one coming from the front that I'm going to put on here when it comes. It should be like another week or so. And that's the only badge I'm going to have on here that says SS. So I'm going to take that red one off, and I'm going to put a black one on there that says SS black. Some people like the flow tie, was just open, air just goes through it. I don't like that one. I like the one, I'm gonna get the black one that lights up at night. I saw that, and man, that thing looks sweet. So that's the one that I'm gonna go with. And that's all I'm doing to the front. Pretty much done with that. So in the back, it won't have any SS badging or anything like that. So it'll be no way anybody really looking from the back will know it's an SS, other than when I get down on it, because I haven't upgraded my exhaust system, so it's quiet until you get down on it. You get down on it, then it opens up. So that's what I'm doing with that. And I'm gonna change the back one to black, and I'm gonna change these tail lights to those Lambo tail lights. I haven't seen anybody down here yet with those Lambo tail lights. I have seen people with these cars in my same color, because the year span is 2016 to 2018. I like these tail lights. They look sweet as fuck at night. They almost look like a Corvette. You know how they just scoop up. That's the only red part you see. They sweet. I like these lights, but those Lambo lights is killing it. They just expensive. $400 is a big price ticket. This is what I'm putting in there. I got the short RCAs, just 3 feet, in case I need it to go to the amp, or when I have my full channel amp, whichever one I'm going to do. Because I already have a LCI2 in there. I went with the I'm going with the audio control Epic Center. This is for, as you can see, it's a bass restoration processor, so it helps a lot out with getting a digital bass. What it does is, from my understanding, is anytime it gets a bass signal from the radio, it delivers strong bass every time. So that's kind of the issue I'm having. So that's kind of what I decided to go with. Now this isn't designed for multiple amps though. So that's the only thing that sucks. When I'm ready to go with a 4-channel amp, I may have to switch this up to like a LCI 7 or something like that, or a digital processor, which is the best. But as you all know, them digital processors could be anywhere from $400 to $500 just for that. But if you got that in your car, man, that's dope, because ain't nothing like a digital processor. So I'm gonna put this in here for now with the LCI2, because they can work together. They work together, because this doesn't I can't tap into my speaker wires with this to get RCA output. So I have to still use my LCI2, and I'm gonna tap this into my LCI2. Then it goes from this to the amp. So the LCI2 takes the signal, transfer it through the RCAs. The RCAs take the signal, transfer it into this Epic Center audio control, and then it goes from here to the actual amp. So 2 processes to clean up the signal before it reaches the amp, so it should sound really good, really, really good. And just so you know, this is what I have in my truck. This was a completely custom box I showed you guys before, with the DB drive 3K, and just so you see it again in case you forgot. And what I was telling you guys, this is the Hyphonic Zeus. I went with the Zeus Elite. My speakers are only rated at, you know, maybe 1,000 watts, but they're only running like maybe 400 RMS is a good, they 1,200 watts, 600 RMS, but it's recommended consistent 400 RMS on them. So I didn't want to go with nothing too big. The amp I just had in here was a 2,400 watt Zeus amp. It wasn't a Zeus Elite, just a Zeus amp, and it sounded good. But of course the gain was turned down because I didn't want to blow the speakers. I'm only running 10s in here, I'm running a 15 in there. So I didn't want to lose a lot of power either, just in case I wanted to upgrade from those 10s, and I either wanted to add a 10 and run 3 10s in here, because I feel like it's enough room for 3 10s. One here, and maybe one in the middle, a little offset, and I can run 3 10s in here if I ever want to upgrade it. I already had an amp in place. Or if I want to take them damn 10s out and run maybe 112, or get something a little bit more customized to run 2 12s, which would be hard, so I probably would just stick with the 112. But for now, this is what I got. I didn't want to go too small. This is 1900. This is more than enough power still, so I still got to adjust the gain accordingly. And let's see what they do. And as you can see, I got the LCI2 already down in there. They mounted that down. I'm gonna have to move that a little bit to get done what I'm trying to get done. So let's get started. It's been 10 minutes of talking. I've wasted time. I only have 3 hours of daylight, and I plan on having this done because the weather is 70 degrees today, which is great. And I want to ride with my top down today. I want to ride my top down today and enjoy some of this weather. I'm trying to get y'all a good picture. I don't think I'm gonna get it from over there. It's some of the stuff I need. It's the board to cut. I'm gonna try to mount the amp board too. Hopefully I only got about an hour or so worth of work. Gotta have the tools to do the job, right? It's a grinder, in case I don't like it and I just want to grind these bolts down, which I will show you shortly. It's just a piece of board, which will have to get all cut up if I want to mount something to that board, which I'm going to attempt to do. And this is the camera, so I can attempt to mount. Oh, I see why it goes. There we go. It's much better, I think. think that's a good spot so everybody can see what I'm doing. I still think so. Could have got a 10 in there, maybe 2. Yeah, 2 more 10s too. They could have fit in there. That's the original box we were trying to make. He was gonna make a steel box like this. Yeah, that's good, buddy. This box actually like so ready to split. Glued it better. I'm just gonna show y'all real quick what I'm trying to do before I just get started, because when I get started, that's it. They had these, it was something mounted right here, a foam, piece of foam to hold things for the car, because of course you know, well, for those who do know, we don't have a spare tire. This car does not come with a spare tire. Pretty amazing, but it does not. I guess there's no room for it, right? But it has this screw right here and this screw right here, so I can't flush mount my amp to the actual frame of the vehicle like I would either like to do. So what I was thinking, what I'm going to attempt, is to cut a board that takes up this whole center space right here, pushes down on here to hold it in place. Now I can either put a nut on there to bolt it down that way and then grind off the top if I don't like how it turns out, or if it taking too much of my time, because I do plan on getting some driving time out of this today. It gets dark around about 6:30. It's already 3 o'clock. That I'm not going to do it. Also, if I can, if it not turn out the way I wanted to turn out, I'm just gonna grind these down flat, cut them completely off, and that way I can just mount the amp straight on top of here. It's not gonna be quite the way I would want it to go, but I'm gonna try the board first, drill some holes, push the board down on here, put 2 nuts on there to tighten and hold it in place. That'll be perfect to mount the amp to, and then just grind off the top notches. A little customizing that, you know, I could pretty much do on my own. Now I probably am gonna have to move this epic center to maybe over here in that little space over there, because I may need this space for my epic center, which looks like it's bigger. So I may move that over there. The LCI2, which the wires to it are being ran from here anyway. The cool thing is this amp, this is the factory amp, it's in the trunk right here where I can do everything at. So that's great, because the speaker wires are just tapped into right here, as you can see, and the power and the ground is tapped into right here as well. The remote wire, the remote wire is coming off of this and just going to the amp, but it's getting this power signal from here. So once the LCI powers up, the LCI powers up the amp. All I'm gonna do is tap into all of this for the epic center to run. All right, just a quick overview. I know you can't see nothing but me working. That's good. Cut that off. I want to go 9 inches deep. All right, safety first. I got my measurements. I'm looking at about 16 deep and 9 wide. So since I got my measurement, I'm going to go ahead and cut this board because this is the very first step to get this board in place. Attempt to get this mounted down and go from there. I really need to vacuum out this drum. Shit down in there. Okay. Who's gonna see all of that, right? This thing going? I see no light on it. Somebody must have unplugged it. Yeah. Back up soon. This shit to be everywhere. 1/2 complete. That's why it's always best to do this shit outside. This out of my way. Take this out of the way. This out the way for now. All it is. Let's see if I can get this board down in there. It's not a super thick board, but the question is, will it do? Now what I did is put the board in there the way I want to locate the 2 studs, or the where I'm gonna drill 2 holes at, was I tapped on it with my hand so it can make a little indenture on the board so that I can see, which is 1 here and 1 here, so I can see where I can need to drill the holes at. Simple. Need my step drill bit. Of course, you don't have the tools. Gotta go in to go get it. And I'm back. This tool right here, it's called a step bit. Drills start from one size and drills up to different sizes. This one starts off at 1/4 of an inch, drills up all the way to 3 1/4. They make two, one for smaller sizes, standard, one for larger sizes and metric. Everybody does any kind of fabrication work, this is your best friend right here, I tell you. Makes things nice and easy. I'm gonna find my marks and drill 2 holes. I'm just gonna drill the holes 1/4 of an inch. Because the actual size is 1/4 of an inch. It's a 1/4 inch screw. So this would be perfect. It's one hole, one mark for the other one. Let's see how it fits. I'm gonna show y'all right quick, that quick little work, and see how it fits. You got to push down through on one hole perfectly, push down through on the other hole perfectly. This keeps it from moving anywhere. Even if I don't even put the bolts on it, it won't move anywhere. Now it is sticking up higher than I would like, so I am going to grind this down flat, just a little bit flatter than this, and then re-stick this back on here. And then I'm going to mount the amp right on top of here. Grind it down while it's in there. Hope I get it deep enough. I'm coming out. Won't come back up. It's in there a little bit too good. So I'm gonna prop it up with this tool, door panel tool. And it worked. Stuff, tools, make the job easy. Now you should wear eye protection doing this. Let me see. I don't mind wearing it either. I don't want no spark to fly in my eye. I don't have safety glasses out here right now in my tool bag. Right now, that's all I got is the Gucci shades. Gonna have to do. Open my door and that that got it. Just set these up here for now. Grind it down a little bit more. Stud still sticks out a little bit, just a little bit higher, not even a 1/4 inch, maybe a little less than a 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna grind it down just a little bit more. Perfect, perfect. Perfect fit, people, perfect fit. Get my little air gun and blow some of this shit up out the trunk. Of course, it's in the house. Back. Oh, I grabbed my blow gun. I ain't brought the air hose through here. Jeez. I think. And I'm back. Here we go. hope that don't fall. I made some decent adjustments on the amp. Hopefully I don't have to readjust it again. Once all this mounted down in place, it is in place. I do not plan on moving it again. I'll let you know, plans change, right? This is how life goes. There is a good spot right there. So I'm feeling 0-inch cables are freaking enormous. Big. Good, we got them sorted out. Comfortable with that length. This in position. center. Twist these two wires together. These two wires are going to be turn on wires for my amp and also for my epic center. That's such a small hole. Small hole. Red wire is a little too thick. Cut some of these threads down on this red wire, so thick. Cut off some of these wire strands. So it can fit in the LCI because, like I said, it was too thick. I couldn't get both wires in there. And I would like to have both wires in there. Oh shit, that put that on. Remote in, remote out. Ain't that something? They got two spots. Now this I didn't know, guys. They got a remote in. Oh, nah. I see. They got a remote in and a remote out, which is pretty sweet. But this just had remote going out to the amp. It didn't have remote in. But you can run remote wire going into it and then remote wire going out. It just had remote wire going out. I didn't have remote wire going in. So I'm guessing when it powers it up, it just automatically sends a switch signal anytime the car is on or activated. I open my door, all this powers up. Could be a good, bad thing, but I'm rolling with it right now. Good or bad, I'm rolling with it. Some idea how I'm gonna mount everything in here. I'm gonna run everything. I'm gonna go to the LCI too. Mount this one. Run this into there. There. Extra length, if I ever need it. I ain't got time for mock-ups. Gotta put this shit together. I can't mount that down. can't sit on anything. So. I think that's a good spot to mount it. Right there. Ah! Oh shoot, where the RCAs go? Yeah, let me run them RCAs first. Well, RCAs is, I need the longer RCAs. It's not going from there to the amp anymore. It's going from there all the way over to the earth, to this thing. I'm gonna do that. My one gonna go up front. So either the base one gonna go up front or this one gonna go up front. Maybe this one go up front and the base one mount in the front. And in case I need to mark up how this is going to go. Give y'all a look at how it looks inside of here. Ooh, been out here an hour already. This is pretty much how my trunk is going to go now. I mount the LCI over there. It's a good tucked off spot for it, just enough room for it. My amp is in the middle. As you can see, I'm gonna mount a board to it, clean up all the wires. Mount my Epic Center right here, which is a good spot for it. Run everything to there. Loop everything around, zip tie wires, look all nice and neat. Is how I'm going to eventually have it. All of this stuff fits perfectly in here too, so if y'all want an idea what to use, this is kind of the setup to go with. This is how it's mounted to my battery and to my fuse box. He mounted it over here, which is a pretty good spot for it, for the fuse. But my issue is this ground. Now my ground wire and my power cable is too long. So I'm going to shorten those up. I don't want it running all through right there. I kind of just want it to kind of go, you know, nice and neatly tucked down up in this area. You know, I want it to be nice and neat, so it's going to be tucked down pretty much through here, zip tied all the way through. And so I need to shorten it. I don't know, maybe a half a foot shortened, just so I don't have it zigging all the way up here like that. I don't like that. It's bothering me. So I'm going to change it. You know, it's what you do. So I'm gonna zip tie this together here, here, and here, and then take it loose here. I'm gonna disconnect it from the power on the battery side so I don't get any kind of spark, and shorten my wire up, run my new wire to inside of there. Now I'm using 0 gauge because the previous amp I had in here, the one that ended up not having some sort of fault to it, which I'm going to send it off to get fixed. I paid $400 for that amp. But I'm not going to put that amp in here. It was an expensive amp. I'm not going to put that amp in here. I couldn't put that amp in here. Plus, the amp was a lot bigger. So I knew I wanted to go with a smaller amp because that amp would have taken up, it wouldn't even fit flush down in here. This amp is perfect. It fits flush down in here. A lot of people go with a 5-channel amp. But that, to me, a 5-channel amp, you're not going to get the same big bass sub output that I like. If you want something simple to sound good for the inside of the car, go with that. If you don't, I would suggest 2 separate amps. Now I got plenty of space. The battery is over here. Everything is flush mounted here. I know it's like, well, where would a 4-channel go when I get ready to upgrade it? Only way it can fit is something on this side, which that whole side is completely, let me show you. Can't pop that off. I don't want to break it. I don't need to pop it off right now. But this side over here, on the inside of there, is completely empty. So when I get a 4-channel, I will make something to mount it in there, flush mount. I'm gonna get a nice small 4-channel to flush mount it, drill a hole through this black, and just run a wire straight through there, right into there, because that's where the speaker wires go. And I may not need the LCI2 after I do that. I may not need the LCI2 anymore because I would be, none of the speakers on it will be hooked up to the radio anymore after that. So hopefully all I would need is the Epic Center. But that's down the road. Back to what I was doing. Well, let's see if I can mount this over here. Instead of y'all just looking at my back and looking at how fat I've gotten, y'all can actually see some of the actual work that I am doing while I'm doing it. That's a little bit better. Oh, that ain't no 10, that's a big ass thing. 13. it on there tight. Always put the screws back that way. Don't have to figure out where the hell they at. Alright, get my zip ties. Alright, y'all, this is the end result of a lot of hard work. It's a little dark and we got nighttime on me. You see I had an LCI flush mounted, LCI 2 flush mounted over there in the corner. I tried to zip tie and tuck the wires up as much as I could for some form of neatness. Of course, it's not going to be perfect, but it's better than what it was. The Zeus amp is mounted on the board, mounted down so it won't move. I had to shorten up those power cables, so that's a much better. Run all the wires over here to the speaker wire, and I had the Epic Center mounted. That's finishing touch. I'm gonna power it up so you can see how it looks. I mounted my amp knob up here because it also, the Epic Center comes with a knob also, and I'm gonna run the Epic Center up to the inside of the car so that I can control it from there for the Epic Center. But when for my amp, I can control it here, because typically you're just gonna set the amp and let it work, do its, you know, you ain't gonna keep adjusting the amp. So I'm gonna adjust the amp to where I like it right here, and then I'm gonna leave it at that and adjust the Epic Center after that. So let me power it up, give you guys a look at it. All I have left to do now is to, my battery is about to die. All I have left now to do is put the box in and run wires for that. There you go. Opened up the trunk, it lit up. You see everything is on. Epic Center is lit all up. It look kind of sweet. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see that. That lights up. Power light lights up. Hyphonic amp lights up. And the LCI 2 lights up. That's all nice, neat, and tucked. As you can see, I am content, comfortable, and happy with the way that turned out. Hopefully it works and sounds just as good. And there is the bass knob for the amp. One more look. And the next video will be with it running. It's mounted completely in the vehicle.